Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Hub on Vital MX, your one-stop shop for motocross news from around the world. And what a week it has been. There is a lot to get into, so we will do just that and start with the Honda HRC Progressive team, as there have been some quite crucial updates on Jett and Hunter's respective injuries. In the latest This Is Lawrence video, you get a behind-the-scenes look at both Jett and Hunter at the third round of the MotoGP World Championship in Austin, Texas. That video also shows some candid conversations that those two had with some MotoGP stars, and in there you can hear them give updates on their respective situations. Hunter confirmed that he was back on the bike last week.
Good first week back. That's good. No, it's good, mate.
That being the week leading up to Seattle. And Jett confirmed that as of last weekend, that being the Seattle weekend, he is around a week and a half away from getting back on the bike, which means if all of that goes to plan, he will get back on the bike 2 months and 1 or 2 weeks after he has torn his ACL, which is just astounding. My mind cannot comprehend that.
I'm like a week and a half out from getting back on the bike as well.
So both riders appear to be on track for the first round of Pro Motocross on May the 24th. Neither rider will put any emphasis on the rest of 2025 Monster Energy AMA Supercross because the Honda HRC Progressive team have drafted in Dean Wilson to fill that berth. Yes, Wilson will race the final 5 rounds of 2025 Monster Energy AMA Supercross for the Honda HRC Progressive team, marking his first appearance in the American Series this year. Although there's a high chance that this could mark the end of Wilson's American Supercross career, he did take to social media to say that this is not definitely the end. So maybe we're going to have Wilson for some time yet, similar to the way that Tomac, Roxon and whoever else seem to be extending their careers far past what we all thought. But that's getting into silly season a little bit, and it's important to confirm here that after talking to Chase Sexton, Ian Harrison, and a couple of crucial players involved, the rumours that Chase has already signed a deal for next year are false. Yes, he has multiple options, and yes, of course, he is negotiating around the pits, but as of now, he has not got a deal signed, and I do not believe that there will be a deal signed in the coming weeks. I think end of April, beginning of May is when that will get done, if I had to have a guess.
No, I haven't signed anything.
But there's no telling what manufacturer yet. I would still bet that he will stay with KTM, but who knows? Watch this space, I guess. Interestingly, in my interview with Ian Harrison after Seattle, he confirmed that Julien Beaumer is his only rider under contract for 2026. So any questions about Juju's contract can now be stopped. Ian confirmed that he is staying there. Sexton, Vial and Plessinger, well, all of those are up in the air for now.
The only guy I have under contract fully that's signed is Julien Beaumer. You know, I'm working on the other 3.
Speaking of Juju, he was of course involved in that altercation with Hayden Deegan after the Seattle main event, and both riders were fined by the AMA. Julien because he grabbed Hayden's helmet, and Hayden because he slapped Juju's helmet. I believe they were both fined $1,000 each. And of course, the fines go directly to the Alpine Stars medical unit and all that they are doing, which is great for the sport and needs all of the support that it can get. Off the track in America, it was confirmed this week that Daniel Blair has taken a new position at Club MX as a general manager of sorts. Honestly, it's unclear where his priorities will lie because he will tackle just about everything. It seems that he will be in charge of, or not in charge, but involved in training riders, hiring riders, finding riders. This really seems like a mismatch of Club MX training facility roles, race team roles, amateur team roles. He will essentially have a hand in everything. But from what he said, this is a role that Daniel Blair has always dreamed of, so he seems quite happy with where he's ended up. But by all accounts, this won't be a situation where he's at the races every weekend and filling the traditional team manager role. Let's put it that way. Bleak news for Monster Energy Kawasaki, as it has been confirmed that Jason Anderson will miss the remainder of Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Posting on social media, Kawasaki said this: Jason Anderson has made the decision, with the support of his family and Kawasaki, to sit out the remainder of the Supercross season to address ongoing health concerns. His current plan is to focus on returning to competition for the Pro Motocross Series. Now, I verified with Kawasaki whether these are his health concerns or health concerns with a member of his family, because you may remember that last week he withdrew due to a family emergency. They confirmed these are his health concerns, which leads me to believe that his Seattle withdrawal was not because of a family emergency and more because of these health concerns that he's currently dealing with. Of course, that hasn't been confirmed, but that certainly seems to be the way that this picture is forming. But what does remain certain is Monster Energy Kawasaki will not have a bike on track for the remainder of the indoor season. But the good news is Jorge Prado is on track to return for Fox Raceway. Jumping across to Europe now, there was a weekend off for the FIM Motocross World Championship, but a lot of the Grand Prix stars were racing in different corners of the world. In the British Championship, at their first round, Conrad Mewes went 1-1 in MX1. Bobby Bruce went 1-2 to win MX2. In the French Elite Championship, Kevin Horgmo went 1-1 to win MX1, and Thibaut Benestant went 1-2 to win MX2. In Italy, Isaac Gifting went 2-1 to win MX1. Valerio Lata went 1-1 to win MX2. And actually, I don't think we've noted this, but Ducati are currently racing their Desmo 250 in that Italian series, and Alessandro Lupino finished second overall on that bike in Italy over the weekend. So clearly, that's going just as well as the Desmo 450. And in the Netherlands, Roman Fevre went 1-1 to win in MX1 there. That was the first round of their series. Jeffrey Hurlings was meant to be racing, but pulled out just to focus on his Grand Prix return this weekend. And Cas Valk went 1-1 to win MX2 at that event. Yes, MXGP returns this weekend in the deep, deep sand of Riola Sardo, a track that most consider to be even tougher than Lommel, if you can believe that. Jeffrey Hurlings is locked in. He will return, so that will inject some great excitement into that series. Hurlings has only been back on the bike for 2 or 3 weeks now, maybe pushing 4. So it's not been a long time. I would expect him to have some flashes of brilliance, but maybe suffer from a lack of bike time and race fitness. But we'll see. And in other news, Mathis Valan, Kawasaki Racing Team MX2's rider, will miss Sardinia because of that hand-wrist injury he suffered at the second round in Kozar. He's just in too much pain. As well as MXGP, we will have another round of Monster Energy AMA Supercross this weekend in Foxboro's Gillette Stadium. The forecast looks quite bleak. Thursday, it is raining all day there. There is no rain on Friday, however, press day has already been cancelled. And then Saturday, it appears as though it's going to rain during practice and the races, which is, of course, the point in time where the track crew really can't work their magic. So I would think that we are going to have a mudder, but it will all come down to just how much rain we get. I know that the track crew have already prepared for it somewhat, making the finish jump smaller and making some takeoffs a little mellower. So hopefully we'll have a raceable track one way or another. That's it for this week's episode of The Hub. A lot in here. As I said, try to get through it as quickly as possible because this is your one-stop shop for motocross news from around the world, and we're not here to waste anyone's time. I've been your host, Lewis Phillips. Thank you for listening and watching, and we will be back next week to recap all that has happened in the world of motocross.